Welcome to today's video. What is today's video going to be? Let's find out. Leviathan. Thank you very much to Games Workshop for sending me the review copy of Leviathan. The model which we're going to be looking at today. We're going to do a kit review on the new winged Tyranid Prime. Let's get that in focus for you so you can have a look. So we're going to have a quick look through the kit here. It is, as you can see, it's a nice small little sprue, so in theory this shouldn't take long. We'll see how quick a video this is. I do have some ideas for it, and I do have some opinions on it as well. So thank you very much to Games Workshop for sending me the review copy of Leviathan. Whenever Games Workshop send me these review copies, I do like to get a video up on YouTube so that you can see, and I'll give you a kind of a walkthrough and thoughts and opinions on the kit itself. Now, I've done all sorts of videos so far on all the models from the box. I've started doing a couple of painting videos as well, so the painting videos are coming. Obviously they're a little bit slower because I need to sit down and paint them as well, but these ones are nice and easily. I think this is the least I can do for the opportunity of being able to show all these off to you. So this one is the Winged Prime. Now let's have a quick look at the instructions here. So we've got the instructions. It looks pretty straightforward. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like 5 steps, which is great for like this push fit models. Now the kind of the problem I have with it, it's not really a problem, it's just like my thoughts on the model. You can't quite see it down here. It doesn't have a particularly strong silhouette for me. Doesn't have a particularly strong silhouette. It looks a bit like the wings being down low like this, it ends up looking a bit like a ball with a head, and it doesn't really have like a strong silhouette. But that's from the pictures. Let's see what it's like in person once we've had it built. Now there's one other thing that I want to there's one other thing I want to talk about, because everybody knows I like doing like weapon swaps, making swords bigger, giving them stupid sized guns and things like that. So my favourite kits so far from the Leviathan, from the Tyranid side of things, are the Leapers. And I'm really liking this kind of like Hormigant genome. And I'm wondering whether these funky little Tyranid scything talons can be replaced by the Leaper ones. So we'll see what we can do. I don't know. I don't really want to cut this one up. I do have a second one. We've got the other one from the kit, which is also here as well. So we might try and see what they look like. I don't really want to cut these up. I mean, I do want some more of these anyway. So like, if I cut one of them up to make a Tyranid Prime look cooler, then so be it, and I can just go and grab some more. And I kind of want to do a small Tyranid army that is all kind of focused around the Hormigant genome anyway. So I think if I can make this look a little bit more like a Hormigant, I think that would be quite cool now. So some things to think about. We've got the wings here. The wings plug in on the torso here. So we've got two spots for the wings. So we can swap. See what it looks like when we swap the arms over. So we could maybe put the arms at the top and the wings at the bottom, see what that looks like. We could reposition the wings and see if we can clip off the pegs and see how much maneuverability we have, just to try and change the silhouette a little bit of this model. I don't want to do too much. Yeah, the pegs will be interesting. The Tyranids I've built so far, the pegs have been fantastic in terms of not limiting how the parts go together. The Space Marines not so much, but this is a Tyranid review, so that's fine. And the head with this with the massive blade on its forehead as well looks pretty damn cool. So that is cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build the model up. I'm going to leave the limbs off and see how we can kind of fit the limbs, see how we can manipulate the limbs, and see what we can make it look like. And then also we might just see what the Leaper limbs look like on there as well, because I think those scything talons just kind of nudges the Tyranid Prime over to the horn. And I'm pretty sure it's not the same genome at all. It'll be a completely different strand of evolution, but I really like how the Hormigants and Leapers look. Fingers crossed we do get a new Hormiguns, that would be amazing. But until then, let's get this one all built up. So we're going to build the torso. There's nothing really difficult about clipping these parts out. I would always clip this little part here, the little scythe and the little talon just up at the top there. I'd just clip that part out first, just so that we're not putting any undue stress and pressure on that part when we're clipping out the other bits. I say this in all the videos, whenever you're clipping parts out with your clippers here, if I'm going to put pressure on that, it's going to move that part out of the way and it's going to put pressure over here. So always try and clip out these smaller parts first with the end of your clippers, so you're not moving them too much. But other than that, I can't see anything else. There's nothing else that's going to be that we should really be paying attention to when we're clipping it out. It looks good, so let's get this clipped out. We'll get all the body built, we'll get the limbs out and see how we can make the limbs fit together. But other than that, it is quite cool. Let's see what we can do, and let's see how good we can make this look. Right, let's get to it. Okay, so we have Tyranid Prime, Winged Prime, Winged Warrior. Winged Warriors or the Wheeled Warriors? Anyway, was it Jesse and the Winged Warriors? I can't remember. Anyway, so we're going to have these little pegged arms are going to sit in here. Oh, does it fit on the top? Oh, it does. It fits on the top. And they fit on the bottom. See, straight away that looks cooler. Just with the wings back. Right, so these fit in here. Now, if I'm really tempted to cut these pegs off. So there's some maneuverability in that. So that's those two, and then these. See, that looks really cool with it back. It has a bit more of a stronger silhouette that way, but then the wings are the wrong way round because they need to be like curled like that so that they're catching the air. So they have to be this way. I think there's definitely a better way of doing this. So if we put those down in the bottom just for a second, and this could fit in there. If we remove that peg, that could sit in there a little bit more open, and then that one could sit in at the top there a little bit more open. We can put that back in at the bottom. That. So that goes in there. Wing goes in there. Get that peg in. Open the wings up a little bit. So just so you have a bit more of an interesting silhouette. Now the next thing I'm really curious, and of course the wings could. I mean, the wings could also kind of sit in the back somewhere, couldn't they, and just be coming out of the carapace. And then you could have 4 arms. Oh, Tyranids are rather interesting, aren't they? With conversions, with conversion possibilities. Now, do we want to put those? I really want to put those claws on. But unfortunately, I've glued these in, so I don't think they're going to be able to come out. Either way, right. I'm going to cut these pegs off. And have a play and see what we can come up with in terms of pose for the wings. So I will be right back, everybody. Be right back. Let me know what you would do as well. How would you pose this? Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think there's definitely a pose in here that's going to look cool. Right, back in a second. We have finally, I say we, I, it's all me. We have managed to sort out a repose on the wings. It's actually quite straightforward. You click the pegs off. So we've clicked the pegs off the wings in the same way as we've clicked the pegs off the claws, and then kind of rounded off the top of the knuckles. And just angled them backwards, and they fit quite well. I mean, this wing is a little bit lower than the foot, so he's going to have to be standing on a tactical rock, which I'm sure we're all fine with. They were glued with my mech pack, but I have run just a tiny little bit of super glue just in the recesses as well, and accelerator, which is why it's gone all white, just to kind of properly hold it. And what we're going to do is I'm going to run a little bit of milliput just around here and around here in particular. So we need to create a knuckle in here, a join, like a ball and socket join. So we need to make that little knuckle in there. So I'm going to get some milliput out and put those on. But after that, we've also rounded off the ball and socket join on the claws. I still really want to change those claws, but it's fine. I mean, especially now because he's a bit more open and he's looking a bit more, I don't know, like there's some more detail going on. in his pose, I think it would be really cool to get those claws on, particularly if I'm going to do like the Hormigant genome style looking army. I think that would look really, really cool. But yeah, there we go. So what I'll very, very quickly do, actually, seeing as I have some tacky putty here, I will grab a little bit off here, roll up a ball, and then we'll put a little bit on that one. This kind of putty is great for posing and planning conversions like this. So there is, hopefully, that's an awful lot of putty on that one. Just remove a little bit. There we go. And there is, I think that looks cool. I think that looks far better. I mean, I know it's stereotypical, like having the wings back, and I kind of get what they were doing. It was a different pose. But for me, the wings being folded down just created like a big ball. Like it was just a silhouette of it was just a chunk of mass with a head sticking out of it, and I didn't really like it. So I think that has a bit of a stronger silhouette. I am all about, if anybody knows anything about me, I am all about the silhouette and the pose of models. So there we go. I think that looks really, really cool. I am incredibly tempted now to cut these off and swap those onto there. I think that claw there, for instance, yeah, I just think those claws are going to look cooler. I know they are like the Hormigant style claws, but I mean, if I do a Hormigant genome army, then I could probably grab some more of these and swap them in for Tyranid warriors as well, and have all the Tyranid warriors with these claws. I think that would look amazing. Yeah, so what I might do until I can get a second set of the leapers, I might just leave these arms off so that I can swap on some leaper arms when I get there, when I get another set. But yeah, there we go. Hope you enjoyed that. Anyway, so all I'm going to do, I'm going to remove these. I'm going to sculpt, grab a little bit of milliput. I'm going to sculpt those back in, and then we'll come back in a second and have a look at the finished, in inverted commas, because these will still be just kind of puttied on like that, the finished model. And you can see how I go about sculpting and kind of smoothing out those little things. Like I said, if you've seen the Carnifex video, the Screamer Killer video, I do think Tyranids and Nurgle are some of the best models to kind of practice, in inverted commas, your sculpting with, because they're so organic, it's very, very difficult to kind of go wrong, if that makes sense. So you have a lot of flexibility with your sculpting, and you can really kind of refine and play around. So yeah, if you ever wanted a chance to practice your sculpting, Tyranids is where it's at. So there we go. Anyway, hope you like that pose. I'm going to get to some sculpting now, so let's go. finished. This is actually take 2 of like the final walk around video, because the first time I did it, he was on a 40mm base, and he is not on a 40mm base. He is bigger. He's bigger than a Tyranid warrior. He goes on a 50mm base. So here he is. The arms are still just kind of tacked on, just for a pose and just so I can show you on the video. I am so, and I think I will grab another set of these when they become available, when I can grab them and swap them over and give this guy some Leaper, some Hormigant genome arms. I think it would just look really, really cool, especially as I'm kind of trying to, or like in my head anyway. It's not like I'm trying to. In my head, I'm trying. In my head, I'm trying. In my head, I am thinking about a genome, a Hormigant genome Tyranid army. I think it would look really, really cool. The question is how I make the Carnifexes, because I do like the Carnifexes. How I make the Carnifexes look like Hormigants. Anyway, it's beside the point. This is all about the Tyranid Prime, the Tyrant Prime, the winged one. He is all there. You saw me do all the sculpting. Sculpting was really, really straightforward, really simple. Like I was saying with the Tyranids and the Nurgle, it's a very, very cool kind of practice, because you can't really go wrong. It's all kind of organic. And when I was doing this, what I was doing, I was just pushing the putty around, the milliput around, until I found like interesting shapes or creases or anything. Like for instance, when I was pushing this one in here to kind of blend it in, I ended up with those little dots. So just like the tail, those dots on the tail. So I added those and kind of left those in. We've got some striations on here as well, some little ligaments and things popping out. This side doesn't need that much. It didn't need that much kind of sculpting or filling in at all. So that one's actually much better. It's just the position of that cup and the ball and socket join on that one was able to fit in a little bit more, whereas this one, the ball is actually here from the arm, so I had to kind of glue it away from the socket and then sculpt the ball back onto it, sort of thing. So that's why that one's got a little bit more putty on there. But there we go. I do like this pose. I think this pose looks way better. I know it's stereotypical, and I know it's the classic kind of wings back, but like when the wings were kind of curled around him at the front, it just looked like a ball of leathery. It just didn't have a interesting silhouette. It was just a chunk. Yeah, I think this pose is looking cooler. I think he's a bit more menacing as well. I mean, this is the guy who looks like he's about to rip a Terminator in half. So yeah, this guy's cool. The base is I think this is the base from the Screamer Killer, so I don't know what I'm going to put the Screamer Killer on, and then I use some thick mud, this Vallejo thick mud, the texture paste. I've got loads of these. I'm going to do a basing video about this stuff that I use, but I've had this for ages and I've not been using it, and it's actually really, really good for Tyranids, because you can get this kind of striations and like the lichen fingers kind of reaching out across the ground, pretty much like the lichen that's stretching across this surface as well. And then of course I just stuffed a skull in as well. So there he is. That's Mr. Tyrant Prime, the winged Tyrant Prime, all converted up. I don't think that's a particularly difficult conversion. Please let me know if you do try this one yourself. I think it's pretty cool. And I think it does improve it as well. So there we go. Thank you very much everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed this little walk around of the the winged Tyrant Prime. I just like, that's the only thing I want to do now. I just want to give him those claws. I think if I can give him those claws, I think it would look amazing. So that's the plan anyway. I'm going to grab. I want to grab another set of these leapers, like I said in my last video anyway, because I think they're amazing. So I will do that, and I will use one of the leapers and give this guy his arms, and then I can keep these arms and put these on the leaper as well. So just do like a quick swap over and see what all that looks like. Right, so there we go. Thank you very much everybody for watching. You can please drop me a subscribe. A like and a subscribe was always helpful, and a little comment down below on whether you think this has improved or made worse the base model of the Winged Tyrant Prime. And yes, let's drop some subscriptions in. We're going to try and get to 1 million followers. 1 million subscribers on YouTube is it's not going to happen, but it's a funny thing to aim for. You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Chris Frosson. You can catch me pretty much every other day on Twitch. I'm going to go live in a second as of recording this, and you can also grab me on Instagram and Twitter at Chris Frosson as well. So until tomorrow, I wonder what tomorrow's video is going to be. But yes, I do have one of these videos for every kit that is in the box, and some painting videos as well. What do you think? Shall I paint this one? I think now I've converted him up and reposed him. I think I do want to paint him. I think he does look cool. I wonder what colour the wings are going to be, actually. Interesting one. Right, take care everybody. I am now waffling, and I will see you soon. Let me know what you think of this kit and whether I've improved it with the repos. Take care. Bye-bye.